Hello, and welcome to Home Studies e-learning for Advanced. Thanks for joining us. In this video, we'll take a look at Part 1 Overview and Essay Writing, how to write a well-ordered essay. Now this video will include task information, essay conventions, how to demonstrate a wide range of vocabulary using synonyms and rephrasing, a method for structuring paragraphs, creating an action plan, and designing a writing outline. But before you get started, it's a good idea to print out the PDF handout of this unit so you can easily make notes and underline key information during the tasks. Or, if you don't have a printer, you can download it onto a different device and use it as a highlighting tool for note-taking. Task information. Now this section is compulsory, meaning that you have to do it, and it'll always be in the form of an essay. Conventions. Now, the target reader is usually an academic tutor, so this task is written as a follow-up to a lecture, documentary, or even a seminar. Therefore, the register or tone of this writing is both formal and neutral. However, the details of this will be expanded on in a later video. This essay question always contains a topic statement. Now this is the background or the context of the essay. Now pause the video and read the essay question. What do you think is the topic statement? Now let's have a look at the answer. You have watched a TV debate about which charity organization should receive funding from the government. So the essay is the follow-up to a TV debate. The essay question also contains 3 bullet points. These are the 3 points that you made in the context of the essay, and they are related to the topic statement. Again, pause the video and decide what are the 3 bullet points. And the answer is: which charities should receive funding from the government? Sports and recreation charities, health charities, or human rights charities? Further task information. In the essay question, you will also find 3 personal opinions. These are the beliefs or ideas that you noted down in relation to the 3 bullet points. So again, pause the video and find the 3 personal opinions. And the 3 personal opinions are: some opinions expressed in the discussions. We should not spend money on sport, but on health. Cancer charities have helped lots of people and need our support. Human rights issues should be addressed. Lastly, the essay question will have content points. These are the central questions that you must answer. So pause the video and figure out what the content points are. And the content points are: write an essay discussing 2 of the charities in your notes. You should explain which charity is more important for the government to give money to, giving reasons in support of your answer. Just to reiterate, this is an extremely important point. Write only about 2 of the bullet points, not 3. And you have to state clearly which points are more important or valuable or effective, etc. Finally, you need to justify your opinions. Essentially state why you believe what you believe. Advice. You can use the 3 opinions, but deal with them in a different way. They are essentially just guides. So do not copy directly from the text or exam questions. This is because you will not get marks for copying words and phrases. And, as far as you can, use your own words and phrases. All of this is important as you are graded on demonstrating a variety of vocabulary and grammar. This can be achieved by using synonyms and rephrasing the questions. I will demonstrate this through a series of tasks. So let's try one of those tasks now. Bullet point synonyms. Think of as many words with the same meaning as charity as you can. So pause the video and press play when you're ready to go on. Let's take a look at the answers. NGO, or non-governmental organization, is a partial synonym, as not all NGOs are charities, but you could also write charity NGO. You can also use organization, group, or institution in front of charity in order to diversify your vocabulary, so you don't simply have to repeat the word charity alone. Furthermore, you can work out different parts of language of the word charity. In this case, charitable is the adjective. So you are now able to create synonyms by mixing the adjective with other nouns, such as charitable institution, charitable organization, etc. So, let's try that task again, but this time we're going to be using the noun funding. So, think of as many words with the same meaning as funding. So pause the video and press play when you're ready to continue. Now let's see the answers. Again, you can create similar meaning words and phrases by breaking funding into different parts of language. For example, the verb fund. Or you can use the adverb financially with the verb support. You can also use the colloquial phrase, spend money on. Let's do another task. Rephrase opinions. So write the opinion in a different way. Pause the video and press play when you're ready to continue. Okay, so how could this simple sentence be rephrased? Now, as this is an essay, this sentence will need to be rephrased more formally. Therefore, remove personal pronouns such as I, us, or in this case, we. This is too personal for essays, proposals, and reports. Use rather than at the beginning, which is more formal than but. Replace money with the state's financial resources. Use a synonym for should, which is ought to. Now, this is not really that formal. However, it will demonstrate your lexical range. And finally, instead of writing in the active form, write in the passive. In this case, ought to be funded. Let's do one more task. Write the opinion in a different way. So pause the video and press play when you're ready to progress. Let's check out the answer. Again, avoid us, as it is too personal. Furthermore, us is not specific enough. Formal writing requires specificity. Therefore, the upgraded phrase referred to patients. And once more, the passive was used in the more formal writing, illustrated by many patients have benefited. In the rephrased sentence, thus was used rather than and. This is because thus refers to reason or a consequence, and the second sentence is a result of the idea expressed in the first. Next, require is more formal than need, and governmental financial assistance is more accurate and specific than our support. The C structure. Now, this is my advice on how to structure your paragraphs, which has dramatically improved the writing of many of my students. Now, bear in mind, this is not a hard and fast rule. In fact, I would not use it for every paragraph, as you should mix around the structure to show your structural range. So let's go through the easy-to-follow acronym. Start off with a statement. This is what you think, the central idea you want to express. Then, the explanation. This is why you believe the statement. This is then followed by an elaboration. Here you can add details that further justify your point of view or statement. And finally, an example, which is evidence justifying your opinion. For the CAE exam, the proof does not have to be true. You can make it up, as the examiner wants to see that you can structure a paragraph in a correct way. There is no fact-checking. Now it is time for a task, the C structure. So rearrange the 4 sentences so that they go in the following order: the statement, explanation, elaboration, and example. So pause the video and press play when you're ready to review. So let's take a look at that answer. So we had the first sentence, number 1, it is the central idea. Number 2, this is the reason why you believe the statement. Number 3 is additional information. And number 4 is an example. Now, let's take a look at an action plan. How to construct the entire essay. Firstly, carefully read the question. Decide which 2 points you will discuss. If you have trouble deciding which 2 points to write about, here are a few questions to ask yourself. Which of the 3 bullet points would you find it the easiest to write about? Which do you know the most vocabulary for? And which point do you truly believe is better, correct, etc.? Think about how you will expand on both of your 2 chosen points, the reasons why you think that, and examples to back up those points. Also, ponder how you will compare your points and which one you will state is more important and why. Note down some synonyms and think about rephrasing bullet points and opinions. This will help you to write more smoothly and quickly when you have the vocab at hand. Draw a quick writing outline. I will show you how to do that very soon. And finally, proofread. Allow at least 2 minutes for this. Everyone finds something that they can change. Essay structure convention. Now, it is essential that you arrange your essay into clear paragraphs. It's usually 4. This contains an introduction. Now, this opens the topic and asks the central question presented in the content points. The body paragraph 1. This is an expansion of the first bullet point that you have decided to write about. Body paragraph 2. This is an expansion of the second bullet point that you have decided to expand on. Conclusion. This is a clear explanation of which of the 2 points is more important, better, etc. Now let's go through how to draft a writing outline. You can draw this on a spare piece of paper in the exam before you start writing. This outline is designed to answer the exam question we've been working on previously in the video. A few words of advice before we continue. You only need to make simplistic notes. I usually write it all in the present simple. Just use abbreviations, acronyms, and incomplete sentences, as this is not being marked, as long as you can understand it when you begin writing. So let's begin. Introduction. Always begin loosely, writing around the topic for a sentence or 2. In this example, I intend to write about the different types of charities and how they help different people. Then I give 2 examples of charities: Mind, which is a mental health organization, and the Fresh Air Fund, which is a recreation and sports charity, and explain what they do and how they help people. Hence, the writing is getting closer to focusing on the central question, which is, should the state fund health or sports and recreation charities? Following this, I begin with body paragraph 1, where I argue that health charities should receive government money, and expand out why. In this case, I argue that it helps vulnerable people in society. We also need aid organizations more than ever as we have an aging population. Furthermore, the rise of obesity-related illnesses mean that more young people need more health care in the future. Then we move to body paragraph 2, where we argue for sport and health and recreation. Here we make a justification that sports and recreation charities are even more essential for the government to finance. And the justification is that the prevention is better than the cure, meaning that it is better to stop illness through a healthy lifestyle than treating the illness later in life. This is backed up by an example that I just made up, where I cite a fake Oxford University study that discovered that exercises reduces weight, which is obviously true, and extends people's lives. Therefore, I decide to write a conclusion clearly stating that sports and recreation should get government funding over health, as it reduces the state's spending on health. Now it's time for a task. So arrange the essay paragraphs into the correct order so that you have an introduction, a body paragraph 1, a body paragraph 2, and a conclusion. So pause the video and press play when you're ready to continue. Now let's take a look at the correct arrangement. Now, I would pause the video and compare the completed written essay to the outline in order to discover how to translate one into the other. That brings us to the end of writing part 1 and essay. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's been educational. But before I wrap up, I just want to give you one final tip. Structure is as important as grammatical range and accuracy. So good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.